Hello Bitzbox, this is Craig from Bitzbox.co.uk here with another Critical Role painting tutorial. So it's been a few months since the last one, and I know a few of you have been waiting for this Mollymauk video, so I do apologise that it has taken so long, but here it is. And I've put this one up as soon as I got it painted, edited, ready, etc. So yeah, let's get straight into it. Okay then, so here we go with Mollymauk Tea Leaf. So I'm going to start by taking some Screamer Pink, and this is going to be mainly for his coat. Now there's so many colours in this miniature, and lots of bright, vibrant colours, and I'm hoping by the time he's done he's going to look pretty awesome. A lot of the references I've seen and other people's miniatures just look amazing, so I'll try and do him justice in this video. So yeah, we'll just paint this over all the jacket. Remember, there's some areas at the front as well. So next I'm going to take some Daemonette Hide, and this is going to be for his skin. Mine is a good old shake. Some of these GW paints do like to separate. Get some on my palette, and this is a lovely sort of pale purple colour, which is just perfect for his skin. So I'll start with putting some on his hand. Like so. Get some on his face. He's got a little on his chest as well. And also, it's quite easy to miss, but his tail is just down here as well. You see there, that sort of goes across the bottom there, like so. So next I'm going to take some Phoenician Purple, and this is going to be for his hair. So his hair is a slightly darker purple to his skin. I apologise if that's struggling to focus on him a little bit. Quite zoomed in for this one. You can see what's going on here. Some purple on his hair. Like so, just be careful not to get any on the skin. Next up, I'm taking some Nightlords Blue. It's a very dark blue, and this is great for the base coat on his trousers. I'll thin out a little bit. I didn't see it goes on a little bit lighter as it's thinned out, but do a couple of thin coats of this to get a nice solid dark blue colour. I'm also going to do the bottom parts of the sleeves. I've seen people paint his sleeves sort of in like 3 or 4 different colours. Looks pretty cool, so we'll do that here as well. So next up I'm going to take some Xeris Purple. So this is going to be for some little details on his trousers. He's got a couple of sort of stripes. I'm going to paint one of them in this colour. And I've thinned the paint down to get as much control as I can, because you need to have a steady hand at this point. Hopefully you guys can see that okay. Nice sort of purple stripe on his leg there. Also got some diamonds on this side, so I'm going to paint a couple of random diamonds this colour as well. Do that one and that one. So just take your time with this, keep the paint thin on your brush build up 2 or 3 coats if you really need to get that solid colour, but if you have the paint too thick, you just won't get the control. I apologise for the camera, I'm going to have focus. So, yeah, so I've done 1 stripe and a couple of diamonds, like so. I really love the details on his trousers, it's really cool. So next up I'm going to take some Ahriman Blue and I'm going to paint some more of these colours. So I'll put a diamond, do another random diamond. Now some are still going to be the dark blue, same with these diamonds and stripes, so just about putting in some random colours. And I think I'll just maybe paint a line under there, almost sort of freehand on it, and then do a stripe sort of under his hand with this colour. Like so. That doesn't matter, obviously doesn't matter if I get any on the boots. There's a little bit there on the other stripe which I can just neaten up. For Nightlords Blue. Obviously at this stage, any mistakes you can just go back over. And just get a little bit more in there, like so. And I might even just, there's a tiny little bit of one poking through. Keep it on that one as well. So then the sort of trousers are starting to look like that. Pretty cool. Starting to get some nice colours in there now. Now with all these colours in place, I'm going to give them more shade of Druchi Vinlet. So I'm doing this stage now because you can afford to be a bit messy with it. Oh, also I point out that I painted the top of the sleeves in that blue colour. Obviously you can do any colours you want on the sleeves, but I thought I'd have that bit of blue because I just really liked it, so I thought I'd have a bit more on the miniature. And just apply this sort of thinly and evenly over all of the colours we've done so far. I'll just add a nice shade to all of them. Helps bring out some of the details as well. Should be hopefully quite apparent on his face. Let's bring out his face. See there if it focuses. Just helps bring out that detail quite nicely. And yeah, as I say, it doesn't matter if you get any on the boots or anything like that, which is why we're doing this now. And give that plenty of time to dry before you go on to the next step. Okay, so I want to lay some base coats down before we get into highlighting these colours. We'll do all the highlights together. Let's get some Catachan Flesh. This is a really nice brown colour that I'm going to use for the boots and his belt as well. And I'm going to apply a couple of thin coats to get a nice smooth finish. So as you can see, I am also decided to paint the horns that colour as well. Next I'm going to take some Baneblade Brown. Get in shot. This is going to be the base coat for his shirt. So his shirt will end up being a lot lighter than this. But this is a good colour to have for all the recesses and whatnot. I'm going to work the colour up from here. So nice good solid base. Next up I'm going to take some Averland Sunset. So this is to go on the sleeves. So as I said, I'm going to make them slightly sort of molly coloured. Sorry, drifting that shot. So I'm going to add a band of yellow And then I think I'll add some green as well in the next step. And I'll take some Cavalite green. I mean, you can use any green you want, of course. I'm just painting the rest of these sleeves. So really starting to add some colours to it. Nice, use nice colourful rainbow sleeves. And the last base coat is Retributor Armour. You can essentially see the pieces what are left. So we've got the top of his boots. Do a band of gold on there. And also the, I guess these are the handles of his swords. He also has a chain on his neck, which I'll switch out to a smaller brush, and his buckle as well. And at this stage, you can see we've got little spots of white, and I'm going to try and sort them areas out as well. So now we can begin with all the highlights. We're going to take some Baharroth Blue, just to highlight the blue areas. You can see I've already started a little bit on the arms, so just a little bit in there. So I've thinned it out a little bit more than usual to highlight these checks. So you just want to very carefully run a line if you want to focus down two edges of these diamonds. So I'm going to take the left hand edges. You want two are connected, not parallel, ideally. There is a couple of stripes as well. Just do a thin stripe just down the left. Like so. Just do a little bit more on that one. It's always better to try and just build it up gradually with thin paint than it is to go in too thick. And I'm going to do exactly the same thing with Catachan Purple on the purple areas. So again, just very carefully run a thin line just down the left hand side. And then, oh, that's a bit too thick. Just get a little bit. If you make a mistake, you can just go back in with the original colour to neaten up just a little bit. There, like so. Now I'm going to use a different purple to highlight his skin. But while this colour's out, I'm actually going to use it for the hair as well. So you can sort of wipe most of it off your brush and just sort of gently catch these little areas. Like so. Just give them just a little highlight, and you can even sort of overbrush it. It's not too much on your brush. For the darker blue areas, I'm going to take Caledor Sky. Exactly the same thing again. Running a thin line down the left. Now when it comes to these folds, you can also do a little highlight on the fold. Now this paint's quite thin. We'll gradually build it up. We've got diamonds to do as well. So just keep it thin. Just gradually build it up. So I'm going to take the Colour Lilac, I think that's how it's pronounced. This is to highlight his skin. And as with a lot of these videos, we sort of work on cheeks, forehead, above and below the mouth, just to draw a line. Now, this is quite thin, and it will look quite bright as it goes on, but as it dries, it will darken down a little bit. Get some on the neck as well, and maybe just a little bit on the chest. Also got his fingers, so don't forget them as well. You can just run the side of your brush gently over them to pick them out, or you can just carefully paint them. And also don't forget his tail as well down the bottom, so I'll just do a line across that. Next up, I'm taking some Ushabti bone. There it is. This is to paint the shirt, so I'm going to be painting most of the shirt with this colour. But I want to leave that previous colour, the Baneblade Brown, just in the recesses. So hopefully when it starts to focus you can see that. So I'll end up looking something like this. Next up I take Nightlords Flesh. This is a nice light brown colour. This is to highlight the belt and the boots and the horns. Run a little bit. With the boots I'm mainly going to focus on the detail in there. Just carefully pick that out. And then some little bits along the top. And then with the horns, just carefully sort of run it across. Yeah, I've got to pick out every single ridge, but not enough just to get the illusion of a highlight there. You could alternatively dry brush these horns if you be very careful and use a very small dry brush. I don't like doing too much dry brushing sort of this late stage of a miniature. You can see even just, well, hopefully you can see the camera like on focus, but I'm just doing a few lines, so it just helps add a little highlight in there. Next up, Uriel Yellow, just to highlight these yellows. Just add a tiny little bit to the highest points, just like so. Then do exactly the same with Moot Green for the green. Just like so. So, you may be wondering why I haven't done anything to the cloak yet. Well, that's now coming up. So, we'll add some highlights to it first with some thinned down Emperor's Children. Just want to get these higher areas. Probably don't need to use as much as I used there, it's quite thin. So again, it will dry quite subtle, and don't worry too much at this stage actually if it's not dead neat, because I'm gonna add some freehand details to this cloak, so we can use that to cover up any mistakes anyway. I'll make sure we get the hood nicely highlighted, and just all little folds. Just add some of this colour too, and you can run the edge of your brush along the end as well. Like so. So I'll do the rest and then we'll add some interesting freehand details to it. Okay, so you can leave it here if you want and then just paint the rope in, which I'll show you how to do afterwards. Or you can do some freehand on the cloak. Now obviously there's no set design here. I've seen lots of different designs on cosplay and miniatures that I'm using for reference. So it really is just entirely up to you what you do here. But I'll show you what I'm going to do, and then it'll be up to you whether to do something similar or what really. So I'm going to get the Cacophony Purple back out. There it is. Now I've noticed on a lot of his robes he's got like these sort of lines going along the bottom, sort of in a triangular shape. Now if you're doing freehand, you really want to thin your paint down and don't have a lot on your brush, similar to how you have been doing some of the finer highlights. And they kind of stretch right across, so we'll start there and sort of work very carefully towards the centre. So you're about there. Now this is not going to be perfect. I am not by any means brilliant at freehand at all. I'm not even sure if I've managed to get that centered. But never mind. I'll do a couple like that. Now of course you can paint back over with Screamer Pink if you don't like it. But that's what we've got there. And for that colour, that's all I'm going to do on the freehand. And I'm going to take Cabalite Green to do a line underneath in a similar fashion, but in this colour instead. Like so. So obviously the closer you get to the base, the smaller the lines get, and you'll notice that that one needs a little tidy up. I mean, they're not perfect, of course. Freehand to get perfect, you really take your time. Probably do a lot of trial and error as well. I'm gonna leave them lines like that. Next up, I'll take Averland Sunset. And I've seen a lot of designs where he has like a sun. So I'm going to try and do that. So I've got to try and do a circle in this colour. Now it would be quite difficult to do this in just one swift circular motion, so this is not very circular. I apologise, but hopefully you guys get the idea. As I said, you can always neaten up with your base colour. But if we sort of get in the sort of shape we want, and then do the spikes on the sun. Not too bad. You can see how thin the paint is. If you have a little bit too much on your brush, that's when you'll get these little build-ups. You can always come back in and neaten them up. Do some it's there as well. And I've even seen people add like a little sort of face on the sun. Don't have to. Like so, you see I'll need to come back in with a couple of coats, neaten it up as well. Also, I'm going to add little sort of crosses to represent like stars. Again, you can see how having just a bit too much on your brush can cause it to sort of push the excess paint around. But that's actually worked out quite nicely. I quite like that. Nice little sort of star shape. And yeah, follow any reference you want to try and do some sort of basic design on your Mollymauk. I'm going to add some little dots and stuff as well. So you may even know what image I'm referencing here. Someone's done the same sort of thing in like a sky blue. But most of the cosplay I've seen for Molly, a lot of his details are in yellow. And I'm going to paint some like crescent moon shapes as well. So essentially just draw a C. You can always make it thicker. Like so, and you can see obviously I'll need to go back over it. So what I'm going to do now is it's a lot easier to paint off camera. Add some more. Just add some more details and go over these, neaten them up a bit and see what we're left with. Okay, and after a little bit of tidying up, got something that looks like this. Now of course it's never going to win any awards, or even close, but you know, freehand's not really my strong point at all. But, you know, it's okay. I mean, these are all just going to a tabletop standard. The whole series has just been a tabletop standard, so even just doing a bit of freehand, sort of pushing the boat out a little bit there. There's just one thing left to do, and that's just to paint the rope going along the back of the cloak. I think there's a little bit on the front as well. I'm literally just going to take some Baneblade Brown and just paint it in that colour. Like so. And there's just little tassels just at the top there. Now it does get lost a little bit in with that freehand, so I think what I'll do is I'll add a dark shade wash to that, and then he'll be done. So I'll just take some Agrax Earth shade and just stick it over the rope. Now if you get a little bit on the cloak, you can mop it up with a dry brush, or if not, just go back over with the Screamer Pink. But once that's dry, he is done. You'll notice just on the top of his horns some of the little paint's coming off there, and that just happens sometimes with resin miniatures where I've been handling them. So I'll get that fixed. Now with all these miniatures, if you do find you get in that trouble, then apply a matte varnish over them and that will help protect them, which is exactly what I'll be doing. And of course, paint the base with some Abaddon Black as well, which I've been doing with all of these. If I can find my Abaddon Black. Here it is. Of course you can base them however you want, but with D&D miniatures I just like to have a black base, because then they can just fit in with any environment. So if you are doing this, do some thin coats, about 2 or 3 should do it. And here we have the finished Mollymauk miniature. So yeah, quite happy with how he turned out. Of course, freehand, not my strong point, as I said previously, but I really like how he came out, and I certainly think I've left the best till last in this set. And I do apologise that it has been way too long since the last video in the Critical Role series. As a sort of apology for that, I think I will do a bonus video where I paint Caduceus clay sometime in the near future. So look out for that. Hopefully it won't take as long as it did to put this one out. But yeah, I think he's well worth the wait. I really like the miniature. It's a beautiful miniature. And yeah, it's come out pretty well. So if you like this video, of course, please do give it a thumbs up. Feel free to subscribe to our channel if you haven't done so already. And all that's left to say is thank you so much for watching. I'll see you all again in the next video. If you enjoyed this video, then please feel free to subscribe to our channel if you haven't done so already. You can also click that bell icon to be notified when a new video has gone live on this channel. On the screen now are 2 more videos that you may wish to check out, and a link to our Patreon page also. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you again soon.